Normally I'm good about moving it. Hi everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started with PTA. If you are here, go ahead and write your name in the chat so that we can see that you are with us. All right, thank you.
All right, we're short and sweet. All of our energy and focus is currently on the carnival. It is March 1st, from 12 to 4. It's going to be all over in the back parking lot of the school. We have been busy working on sponsors to help us cover some of the costs of this because it is, with the rides and whatnot, it is super expensive. We're still looking for vendors and volunteers also. So anything anybody wants to help out with, we are more than willing to take it. The pre-sale forms have gone out for KLS students. Yes. We still need more sponsors. Yeah. But I have a question. Yeah. I do the pre-sale was like what, 25? It said will go up after like we buy it the date. Yeah. Do you know how much is going up? 5 more. 5:30 at the date. Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna send out a yes. We put all of our memberships into the member hub, which is called GiveBacks now. And there is no IT support and it's not user friendly. So that I'm just not very techy to be both. So it's been a battle trying to come together. But I knew we'd already said the original. Can you post a sign up Genius? That's the one that they use for drama. Yeah. And it works pretty good. It's really easy. It's super easy to use. It's just signupgenius.com and it's free and you just build what you need. Yeah. And then people just say it. Yeah, the high school did post it. I reached out to the high school, so we have some of our former students coming back to help out that day too. And we have quite a few teachers. It's also sitting in the manager, so like we lost some of our usual. We're so volunteers. Yeah.
Go home, shower, change your clothes.
Savannah Bananas.
Yeah. They didn't check with me first on their date, you know.
Ah,
I come through on that.
I know, everybody's doing
We're
that.
looking at some stuff.
Yeah, so we got just about 2 weeks and just over 2 weeks and we're getting
All
hard.
right, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be good. What's the budget, I mean, what's your, balance?
We're getting there. We still need probably, we took them up with like another $4 grand at least in sponsors. We do have some pre-sale, but it's slow going. It's still a little early too, most people wait to that last push.
I was buying for the new,
We're not yet.
Target Halls, or down.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was up in the other place here, so I didn't see anything later.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
I'm paying for the kids.
So, have any other photos of the course?
That's why I'm asking you, you guys. All
Take them all.
right, anything else, PTA?
No, that's kind of our main focus right now.
All right, I'm just gonna go straight into SAC, so we can get going. This is usually our crowd. All right, Tiffany, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to start with approving the agenda. If you didn't get an agenda, they're up on the sign-in table. Do I have a first for approving the agenda?
Sure.
Go for it. Holly and I.
Okay.
Then they're gonna switch it for the second one?
Yeah, sure.
We have a couple of presentations today. Michelle, how long is yours gonna be about? 5 minutes or so. All right, so we're gonna have Michelle Neville from AHAC do a presentation. So you're up and ready to go.
Shippy, do you want to do
She
So
did.
we're just gonna switch it like you
Okay.
first and then I first.
Got it, I didn't know if you needed it out loud. Okay.
I know with 2 people here.
Let's do it.
All right.
I am Michelle Neville. I am the Development Director for Keys AHEC. And thank you so much for having me here today. And I'm just here to talk to you a little bit about all the things AHEC. I know that you're probably still already familiar with our clinics in the schools, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them and some of the other services that we provide as well. So what the heck is AHEC? A lot of people don't know what AHEC stands for. It's Area Health Education Centers. Next. So traditionally, AHEC centers have these type of programs. The main focus on AHEC programs would be professional medical education. We do opioid prevention and misuse, tobacco cessation and training, and a lot of work with the local college, putting medical professionals that are in school into jobs, and also helping out with their continuing education and some other education services such as sponsorships and things like that. What our AHEC does different than most is, of course, our clinics for our children. Our clinics started because we saw a need in our community because of the high cost of living here, that we really needed to help with children's health care. With our 10 medical clinics and now our dental clinics on top of that, we are trying to bridge a big gap in the services that are available to our local children. We started our medical clinics in 1990 with 2 clinics, and have now grown that number to 10 clinics that reach from Key Largo all the way to Key West. And we've been adding more services here in the Upper Keys, and particularly we just added an extra day of medical clinic service at Coral Shores High School because the need is growing. We're seeing advancement in the need for services here. We are now in our 3rd year with our dental clinics. So we started with the dental sealant program in the schools, and through our dental sealant program, we found out that so many children had never ever seen a dentist before one of our professionals saw them in the sealant program. So we started doing some surveys, trying to find some information on, dental care for children in our community. And usually if a parent can afford health care, they're going to go with medical care, and dental care is usually something that's kind of an afterthought or just something that they can't afford. So we saw a huge need for these services, and that is how our mobile dental unit came into service. That came into service 3 years ago. Last year, we put in a brick and mortar dental clinic in Marathon. And then this year, we are currently working on adding a satellite dental office in Key West as well. As you can see with the numbers here, our dental patients, 98% are either uninsured or on Medicaid. Our medical students are 72% uninsured or Medicaid, so the benefits to the families in our community is huge. A lot of people can't afford these services other than coming to our clinics. Next slide, please. Here are a couple photos of our clinic in Sugarloaf School. And along with, a lot of people might even just think that all we do are school physicals and those type of things, but of course our nurse practitioners can do everything from diagnose, treat, write prescriptions, all types of services. And it cuts down on not only the child's absenteeism in the schools, but also helps with the parents having to pick up their sick child from school, making other doctor's appointments, getting all those things. So it's actually saving the parents time as well, because they're not having to miss as much work because of that. So it's benefiting not only the students, but the parents as well. Next slide. So here is, of course, I'm sure you're all familiar with the outside of our dental van, but I don't know how many people have actually seen the inside of our dental van. And so we do have 2 full exam rooms, and we do travel with a full dental team. And they do travel from Key Largo all the way to Key West on a rotating 10, of course, the same 10 schools that are medical clinics are in on a rotating basis. So all the different schools have access to that care on a rotating basis. We do charge a small fee for our dental, $10 to $20 depending on the service. Our medical services are no out-of-pocket costs to adults or for the children to the adults. We will bill the medical insurance if they have it, but we don't take any co-pays or any money over what the insurance pays. These are some photos from our children's center in Marathon. One of the reasons we put this center in to begin with was because we saw a growing need for services in the Middle Keys, because it's basically most of the services are Upper Keys, Key West, and we didn't have a whole lot going on in the Middle Keys. And a great thing about having this clinic right there by our offices is that if for any reason the mobile dental clinic needs to be serviced or something is broken down, we have this as a backup, so we don't have to cancel any appointments. Children aren't missing their appointments. If they can make it to the Marathon Clinic, then we will transfer them to that if the mobile dental unit is in service for any reason. We added panoramic x-rays. It's a wonderful thing for the kids because it makes it so much easier getting their x-rays. It's one full x-ray. You don't have to keep positioning it. It's a lot less painful, a lot less traumatic to them, stressful. So it's a wonderful addition to our services for the children. So these are our statistics from the 23-24 school year. In our medical clinics, we saw 5,988 unique patient visits, and for over 47, almost 48,000 services that we provided. Dental clinic, we did 3,431 unique visits and then 18,655 services, and these numbers are growing. As you can see, after we added the Marathon Dental Clinic, our services doubled in the fourth quarter of last year. We were expecting about 40%. They actually doubled. Next slide, please. Will the video play?
You have to hit the back.
Is it back? It should play automatically.
You think first dental visit being 3 and 4 years old, but the majority of our patients, their first dental visits is when they come to see us. And a lot of them can be in high school with juvenile periodontal disease, permanent first molars already decayed to the point where there's just rotted root tips. Our kids are going to school in pain.
The importance of this program is that it provides an outreach to children who really don't have access to care because there are not too many providers, and also the cost.
I was actually in a pickle with her teeth and I didn't know what to do. Because down here, root canal is $1,300.
I had a bunch of cavities and it made me feel nasty, and I had this gap and I didn't like it because I got made fun of at school a lot.
In Chloe's case, she really needed some very comprehensive dentistry. We're talking about a ballpark figure about $20,000 in dental services if it would have been channeled through private practice.
Ever since I got my teeth in, when I smile, I don't smile with my mouth closed anymore. I smile with my mouth open, and I'm really happy about that.
It felt really good because getting her teeth fixed and not feeling like a bad parent, or I'd be able to afford it. Being a single father and just being able to sleep at night and not try to work 90 hours a week and spend time with my daughter. It's just a blessing.
They've made life easier for us. We put food on the table, we have a roof, we pay rent, and it's a little bit easier to do that now that we're not spending so much money on a dentist. And we have everything that God wanted us to have.
So this is just one child. So this is something that we pride ourselves on making sure that our children have access to this care, and support from our community is a big part of what we do. So I want to thank you for always supporting us and our efforts. And also, this is how we do it. We get state and local government grants, community and private foundations, support from local businesses, the affinity groups and from individuals as well. Currently, we are running about 24 different funding sources that we use, and that's how we keep this big machine running, and it's constantly growing, so that's something that we're looking to, as of course, as things change here in the future, that different funding sources are, things that you have to be constantly looking for. Next slide, please. So we are starting a group called Friends of AHEC, and our theme is keeping Keys Kids healthy. We are looking for a few good people that really believe in our cause to help support us. We would like to find 3 people in the upper keys, 3 people in the middle keys, and 3 people in the lower keys. So we have the whole keys community involved in it for a development advisory council. So if you or anyone you know might fit this criteria, or think that you might want to help keep making sure that we keep these services available for our kids, I would greatly appreciate anyone who would want to join us.
Put my
Okay, thank you so much. And then that QR code will take you to our website if you want to read a little bit more. I also brought copies of our annual report from last year right here, if anyone would like one to do a gentle reading for when you're waiting for your child,
What day did you add on it, Gulf Shores?
We added Mondays.
So it's not, Anita's here.
Yeah.
Who's doing it down there?
Amy.
Amy.
Yes. So Amy will be at Coral Shores all day on Mondays now. We monitor, the number of children that are coming through, we know what schools they are from, even if they don't, say a child from this school can't get an appointment here, they go to Coral Shores instead to get their appointment, and we know what school they actually came from. So we track all of that and the number of visits and things. So we try and keep our finger on the pulse of what each section of the keys really needs as far as the services we need children that are involved. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me there.
Excellent. All right, next is going to be Mrs. Valdez with our Title I, the survey results, right?
So at the beginning of the year, we sent home those paper surveys for Title I that we did at the beginning of the year, but they also sent it out virtually. So the results, then it takes time for them to put it in because you have some online and some on paper. And we got about 133 responses based on what she sent me. And as part of our Title I, is kind of going over those results. So one of the biggest things that we got good feedback was that one of the questions was, I feel welcome when I enter or contact the school. And out of everybody that filled out the survey, they said yes, except for one person. So and then I talked about are we encouraging our parents to volunteer? And the majority of the people said yes. There was only a handful that said either unsure or no. And then, do you feel knowledgeable about the school's expectations? Do you feel knowledgeable about what is going on at school? And everything is, the yeses. Once again, we only have about 3 or 4 that say no or unsure of these things. Are parents involved? And then how knowledgeable people are about our Title I programs. And do we provide additional help for our students academically? So we do have our tutoring, which has grown to where now we have Monday through Friday available in the morning, which some people still might not be aware of it, but we do. And we have a good, I think our mornings become a bigger turnout than our after school right now, because thank goodness we have the morning one, because we do have all our new athletic teams and we have so many sports going on. It gives those kids that opportunity to come in the morning and get that support. But it also comes from our teachers that sign up to do it too. So we would love to make it, more if we could. But right now with what we have, it's pretty, morning's been big, but we do have space. So if you guys need it for your kids or know people that are still interested in needing tutoring services, they're welcome to reach out to me or their child's teacher. for that to support them as well. Some of the other big yeses were, do teachers regularly communicate with me? And we got a big positive response on that. What do parents like? They like to get phone calls, they like to get text messages. Parents really like the reminder dojo, because it seems to be one of the easiest way to contact teachers right away. They can respond at the moment. So that tends to be our biggest feedback on where they like to be communicated. And then also, are we inviting people to our SAC meetings, making you guys aware of our parent engagement things? So those are all the things that are covered in SAC. The compacts that we sent home as well. And then I guess the biggest thing where the pie with like the responses all a little bit everywhere is what's the best time of day to attend meetings? And our biggest one is the evening. And then the second biggest is like morning, because I guess it depends on people's work schedules.
We have a lot of Head Start morning activities, and that's when the Head Start ends. They like the morning activities.
And I know they've been trying to do their parent engagement activities different times of day to see if that helps with attendance for it. So that's why we try to do something sometimes in the morning. Our awards, we've been trying to stagger that out to help families as well. Because I know people that have multiple children, it's not easy to get off for those awards. And then the other thing is just what prevents parents from participating or coming. And it's the same, the last few years, it's always the same. It's either your work schedule or childcare. And just the time, and we have a lot of families that are single parents, so they can't take time off, things like that. But I guess just the biggest thing is to keep communicating with families like we are. Parents are enjoying that, and overall, our feedback from our beginning year survey was very positive. And we will be sending that again towards the end of the year. And if you guys have any feedback for me or anything on their engagement activities, you can let me know now, or you can email me. Let me know now.
Any feedback, any questions?
I wish there was a centralized app that everybody used. Just one. There's talking points for mine, there's just like that. I wish there was just one.
We used to use Remind.
And they started charging you guys,
And
right?
So you can only, yes, so basically the bottom line was they started charging. We could only, I did kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. That gave me 9. And then I did the 10th, which was for the whole school. If I wanted to do another one, I would have to pay for it. And then I had to go in and change, like if there was kindergarten, I deleted the title and renamed it first grade. And I had to figure out like who left. Because, right, because you were only allowed like 100 and something people. Right. It's got, like, we have that parent link, and it's really not as easy as, because it takes everything from focus, and so you think you have everything, but you know how everybody's phone number changes like that, or their email, it's really hard. So, but
all the
we
sites, all of the things.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
every grade level, every team has a different thing, but a lot of it has to do like with logistics of what we have contracts for, what we don't have contracts for, things
And
like
as
that.
well as, thank you for all the forms that we did the survey and what was the response rate for last year?
I think it's been getting more.
And I raised 100 give or take students.
Well, we got, based off of this, I believe this is everything that was on that list, because I feel like I got a lot of papers too. Because I think the lower grades, it's really good for paper. It's when you get to middle school where the online stuff works better, because we don't have middle schoolers either. It disappears in the backpack, or they just see them thrown in a room. But we had on this one, we had 136 responses on it, which it's been better, because there's been years where we only had like 50 or 40. So we've been getting more feedback, which is good, so we see what parents need and how we can support it.
And I think if we act on what the parents are suggesting, then they feel like they're actually heard instead of just turning diapers. So, and that's up to us to make sure that we have to change. If people are asking for things, we've got to change. All right. Anything else? All right. Added, career day.
Yes, you can look it up. Yes, career day is February 28th. I'm happy to say 2 out of the people here are already on my list. Yes, exactly. You never responded. I asked you. You answered the other question, just not that question. But, we actually, some more forms will be coming in, so I'm super excited. I mean, I am still bummed we can't use the field, so the outside stuff will be very limited, but we have lots of volunteers who are coming in through the classrooms and stuff, so it should be a great day.
That was fun going through the classrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to go to the belly of the beast. Really.
They just argued. Are we gonna get our schedules on those?
Yeah, I'm currently working on it, because middle school is a little tougher schedule because of the job and all, so we're working on that, so by next week I should have them. Trying to get them, my goal is a week ahead of time.
Special Olympics, volleyball game, Sam Mills, and a big final weeks. Not that I'm a big time, but
Yeah, glad you reviewed that stuff.
Sporting school events, so our sports that are starting now are baseball and softball, and they're super excited to get that going. And all the way down on the bottom, I invite anyone and everyone who wants to come to our ribbon cutting ceremony, which will be March 8th at 10:30, and then our softball game will start, and then after softball will be baseball. So we will have 2, and apparently I'm throwing up the first pitch, and I've got to practice my softball.
And then Special Olympics, so soccer.
Yeah, you're also invited to our Special Olympics banner ceremony, which is the 12th at 1:40, and I figured you guys were already
Well, almost the grades up.
Who's that? Miss Castillo wants me to go get Ryland and Gavin.
Yeah.
And so I might have trouble. She's like, they're not driving. I'm like, they're still 15. Like, no, they're not driving. So I'll see if I can get them.
All right, so those are the really big events that are coming up. Safety and security, Commissioner Rashine and I had a meeting with the Florida Department of Transportation, and they were nice enough to reconsider my suggestion of moving the crosswalk to the north of the school, and they had a really nice animation of how I was wrong. The 2 of them. 2 animations.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Who do you want me to put in the minutes? Don't do your run.
Just FDOT.
That's not.
They're like, they said you're wrong not once,
But
but
he
twice.
did comply with his plan C.
Clancy. So I tried it. I was nice about it, and I'm glad Holly was there because I didn't say thank you or anything at first. I went straight into like, let's go back. Let's go back. Their solution to our problem is putting the big X, over on the other side, right? So that would stop traffic and people would stop and, so they didn't use that as the solution to my problem. Like what would cause, but I'll play nice in the sandbox. But they did seem a little confused that they didn't put do not block on the road. Like, didn't they
So what
tell
was
us?
the reason the light can't be moved?
You'll see why. It's like it creates another problem. It's
They-
just
Yeah, what they said is if the light is moved, then the traffic going north
will slow down.
will slow down and then,
significantly.
right. And you can't take a right turn out. Like right now, you have a free take a right turn only.
And then you have to
So-
just wait and the drop off. Not by that many cars, but it would be longer. But
Right.
statistically speaking, and it would take 5 to 6 years
Oh,
and a
Jesus.
lot of money.
Yeah, and a lot of money, So, but they, like, what I remember from the previous conversations was they knew that they were just putting an X down and not writing anything else down. And I had asked for that. And then they seemed confused, like, why is it not there? So I think I saw them there this morning.
The secretary said that it was supposed to be part of the task force, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They were there this morning.
They were.
Yeah, when I
Well,
dropped off,
I
right.
probably skedaddled down, so.
Yeah.
And then law enforcement presence.
Yes, and then so we talked about, and so I said I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard spot because I do have a good relationship with the sheriff's office and the FHP, but every time I asked the sheriff's office, like, please enforce the do not block the intersection, the sheriff's office says, well, that's technically not ours, that's a state highway, that's FHP's problem. And then we don't have FHP there. So they're gonna talk to the major, and Commissioner Rashine is going to talk to the sheriff.
It was fun though, it was fun to watch his face. Yeah, but we got through it, it's good.
Yeah, I'm still learning some of
There's
these
so
things.
many options right there.
Right.
People do their jobs.
Right, and I honestly, it really does work if people don't block the intersection, so they can get out. It really does. I mean, I hate to say it, they're right, but I mean, they're right.
And then
It just
they
happens.
can put the marquee sign out and say, for a while, don't block, and they already have signs, everybody needs signs.
Right.
You need something, like Mr. Bay said, you are going on 836, it's huge numbers, no matter where you are, so why doesn't it say do not block on the
Right, and then, so, it just so happened that I was coming home from Winn-Dixie that afternoon, and I'm coming up to, I'm like, where's the X? Because I was talking to my wife, complaining, like, they said the X. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the X? And you don't really see it because it's on a little hump. And then it's like the sun hits it, and then you get on, and you're like, oh, you're right on. So that's why people don't stop.
that needs reflectors and.
Yeah.
Fancy do that.
It needs a few things. But anyway,
Those signs, do you want it on?
I want like a
Southbound?
whole, like what they do in The Simpsons, like I want big signs, on it, arrows, do not block, you know. It just needs to be yellow or something, like you can't
Like
see it.
reflectors.
Yeah, reflectors. But in the grand scheme of things, I am putting together a proposal this summer to have our buildings reconstructed. Buildings 5, 6, and so forth, because we are so spread out. Buildings are for 50 years, and so by time the year 2035, which is in 10 years, they're up for reconstruction. So a couple of years beforehand, we'll start doing planning and so forth. But if I write a proposal to get that may happen sooner, and then I can figure something out with using what we have and making a snake for like a drop-off line. So maybe that 5 or 6 year timeline that they give you for the Department of Transportation may actually fit into what we have for reconstruction of the school. So we'll see how that
Welcome to schools on the island.
Yeah, I know, right? Nothing for the media, the school improvement plan we went over last time. Open controlled enrollment, we lost about 4 kids this week. They moved to Broward. 2 moved to Broward, 1 moved to Miami-Dade, and another one went to Texas. So we are at 694. Our projected enrollment was 700. So we're 6 down. So I'm not saying anything else about it.
So 136 surveys, that's a good swash.
Yeah,
We're getting more.
we're getting on. So the principal report is also going to go with what we're talking about. It's in the agenda for under new business. Well, actually, I'll talk about this for the principal report. The superintendent, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and Key West Police Department have put out multiple public service announcements about making false reports. So they have a new one that's out. It's on the website and it's on Facebook. I'm not going to say anything because the second I say something, we're going to have a false report. But false reporting, making a false report is no joke. That's the catchphrase, and they will take you to jail. And I'm normally one of those people that will like defend the child, but if you make a false report here at school and disturb it, I will be the one making sure that you.
It's like legit zero tolerance.
Yes, legit 0 tolerance, because we had a couple of false reports last year that just made our lives miserable.
So it is a 2nd-degree felony.
Yes.
So Officer Carey and the counseling team and myself, we went around, we do with State of the Tornado meetings with the students from 5th grade to 8th grade. We do one at the beginning of the year, we do one mid-year when they come back from winter break, and then we do them as needed, based on the feedback from the teachers, or if we see things with referrals or, any sort of discipline that we need to address, or anything else that comes up that we want to talk to them about. So this is one of the things that we addressed recently. We also did a presentation about cyberbullying from the sheriff's department that they sent to us. So we encompassed the false reporting piece as well. It's a two-edged sword. We want them to use the text tip line or reach out, say something, hear something, see something, say something. We want them to do that, but we also need them to take it seriously. So we give them the text tip line, we talk about that. We also let them know that, it is a felony, it is a very serious crime to lie or to make things up. And then we kind of just reinforce that with the school rules here as well. So the students have heard about it, but it's also important that staff and teachers and parents and community members know about it too.
Yeah, you cannot make a false report.
Another things that people say.
Yeah, we just say to get the law, it's a felony, yeah.
And quite honestly, I say it all the time, I feel sorry for the high school, but our crew has moved down south. And so we're a little bit more innocent as we have in the past. I just said we're more innocent.
We protect our good virtue here.
Yes. Sorry, really busy tomorrow.
We are just working to communicate with our community as much as possible and utilize all the resources and try to nip things as fast as we can. And be just very open about what we need to.
So I hope everybody is free tomorrow, at 6 o'clock at the high school.
I thought it was in Key West.
No, tomorrow is Coral Shores.
Oh, Sue Walhansky posted it in Key West.
There is one in Key West.
There
as
is
well.
one, yes.
The school board meeting
Oh, the school board meeting
is in Key West.
is in Key West.
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow is the first of the community input on this superintendent search. Yeah, well, yeah. So they will have something tomorrow in Key West, in Tavernier, and then the next night in Marathon, and then I may take the day off and go down and watch the one in Key West. That should be interesting.
And we pushed off a survey, right?
Yeah, we pushed out the survey, and I know, so it's the Florida Association of School Boards. They're running a superintendent search. I think the application will be opening very shortly. So it should be quite interesting. We'll see what happens. I've told my staff that I have absolutely no interest, so it's not gonna be me. And thank God. Not.
At the calendar meeting a couple weeks ago, there was like chatter and someone was talking about that and someone said their name and it took this word wanting to be. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Speaking of the calendar committee, why is it calendar?
It's on the school board. I mean, I don't know.
If anything, we could be sitting there just with the calendar on too. I know a couple people on it. Why is it enough?
I mean,
Why do you have to be there in person to look at a calendar?
we talked through a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I was asked to go and I went.
No, I've asked to be on it for some reason.
Really?
But I don't know why you can do it on Tuesday.
I'm gonna put that as feedback.
Yep.
And then-
Molly.
I know they're approving the next 2 years or discussing the next 2 years.
It's a big calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody gets some reads about school.
I mean, everybody does.
What
Everybody.
else do you do?
Yep.
Until your kid graduates, then you're pretty passing.
So there is a portal, and all the information about the superintendent search is on the portal on the Key Schools website. So that is there. They hope to have, I can't remember the date, but there is a timeline. I think sometime right around the end of April, they want to have the superintendent hired.
Is this Teresa's last year?
This is Terry's last year.
Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know if they
she's
did it
gonna-
like 2 years.
Transition.
Built in nationwide. So other than that, teacher report. The teachers have been doing their homework for me. They have been meeting with me for their professional growth plans, talking to me about how their data and how their kids are performing in the classroom. And everyone is very well prepared. I'm actually astonished this year. Like they usually they have a hard time more with the technology than anything else, but like everyone's like been on point. So whoever is meeting with me tomorrow is probably gonna blow it, but it's been good. I do have Tiffany, Hannah, and I do have a data meeting with the superintendent about our school. And we are bringing all the information down to show them how close we are right now to an A. And then when we become an A next year, there's gonna be one big party.
Not to be a downer, so I feel like a senior when I ask this question, so I've watched Drake's assignments electronically, and I think I know what he's doing, but I feel like not that teachers need one more thing to do, but on the tutoring session, I'm submitting some, like I saw Drake take a picture with his laptop and was like, is that sufficient? How did you see what you were writing? You were writing in pencil, I don't know. So as a parent, I'm struggling with that from time to time.
So
Maybe it's my child.
right, our philosophy here is that we want the kids to get the information as the best they can and to give it back to us in any format that is going to be easy for them. We need to know somehow that it's mastery. They know the content, they know they have that knowledge. And then it'll be up to the teachers to clean it. If like, okay, I see this is what you turned in, like now you've got to do something different.
I hope that message gets to them.
Yeah.
Or maybe also like makeup work or something, sometimes like I need to show that they had it done.
I see what his submits, and I just commit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's as the kids go up in the grades, the product that you have to turn, like there will be things that you have to turn in as a product is better. Like, I mean, I literally took a picture of something and sent it to Amber the other day because she wanted to sketchbook something. And I mean, I took it because I have it handwritten, I already had it done, so.
A lot of the final work is done on computer so much, so like if it's on paper, it could be more just notes or something to follow up with it. But a lot of our assignments, middle school wise, you can see, each student, almost every teacher has a Google Classroom, so you can see your child's work there too. And everything's posted online is the majority of the stuff, so.
My daily.
And we're trying to move away and like, we try to move away from the old archaic way of grading. And it's like, yeah, you can turn something in and it's nice and pretty, but you didn't write anything of work on it, and so that's, yeah. Because we had some teachers get duped by that, like a really beautiful project comes in, you're like, oh, you read it and you're like, oh, that was plagiarized. Yeah. So when you have a kid writing some scribble on it and like, that's their handwriting and it's actually right, you're like, oh my God. What's that? Yeah, I mean, you should see the stuff that the teachers, like, they'll come in with spreadsheets and papers and they put it down on my desk and I'm like, okay, yep, I got it. And then we reorganize things and that's just, sometimes that's how you turn things in. It's all mastery. That's what I want. I don't accept not mastery. Right, guys? Yeah. All right, that's it. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything else? All right, thank you. Have a great night. Ooh, it's hot now.
You said you were